we're going to be shifting focus very slightly, but sticking with the fact that the national capital is continuing to sizzle under the severe heat wave conditions, with the mercury touching 52 degrees Celsius. The Delhi Lieutenant Governor V.K. Saxena has issued orders to provide a 3-hour paid break to laborers. As per the order, all of the workers and laborers will be given a paid break between 12 p.m. noon to 3 p.m. Now, this break will remain in place until temperatures drop below 40 degrees Celsius. The LG has ordered to provide adequate water and coconut water as well to the workers at construction sites, and has also instructed to keep water in pitchers at bus stands. Now, as he issued the orders, he also flagged the lack of sensitivity on the part of the Delhi Chief Minister, Arvind Kejriwal. Hitting back, the Delhi Health Minister, Saurabh Bhardwaj, said that the Aam Aadmi Party government has been making heat wave preparations even before the LG's office became active, and urged the Lieutenant Governor to give up the negativity.
जितने भी अस्पताल हैं, केंद्र सरकार के, दिल्ली सरकार के, ईएसआई के, एनडीएमसी के, एमसीडी के, कैंट के, रेलवेज के, ऑटोनॉमस प्राइवेट, सबको एडवाइजरी दी गई कि आपके यहाँ हीट स्ट्रोक के केसेस को डेली रिकॉर्ड करना है और उसकी रिपोर्टिंग करनी है, किस फॉर्मेट में करना है ये भी दिया गया 8 मार्च को। फिर ये अप्रैल के अंदर दोबारा एडवाइजरी दी गई है। और एक बड़ी अच्छी बात है कि एलजी साहब के अपने विभाग को, उनके अंदर एक पुलिस विभाग आता है दिल्ली पुलिस, उनके विभाग को भी मेरे विभाग द्वारा 18 अप्रैल को एडवाइजरी दी गई। और एलजी साहब को मालूम ही नहीं है, वो आज हमारे चीफ सेक्रेटरी को लिख के कह रहे हैं कि हीट वेव पे कुछ नहीं हो रहा।
Now, he also alleged that the objective behind the LG's letter was not to give suggestions to combat the heat wave, but to humiliate the state government and portray it in a negative light.
ये बहुत दुख हो रहा है कि उपराज्यपाल महोदय इस तरीके की चिट्ठी लिखते हैं और दुर्भावना से लिखते हैं। अगर सुझाव के उद्देश्य से लिखें तो लगता है कि अच्छा सुझाव है, स्वागत होना चाहिए सुझाव, मगर इस दुर्भावना से लिखते हैं कि किसी तरीके से दूसरे को छोटा दिखाया जा सके, खुद को बड़ा दिखाया जा सके। इस चीज़ को एलजी साहब को करने से बचना चाहिए। उनका बहुत बड़ा पद है, इस सब चीज़ों से उनके पद की गरिमा जो है बहुत ज़्यादा घटती है, मेरा ऐसा मानना है।
All right, we're crossing over to my colleague Nikhil to bring us more on this. Nikhil, you know, you're somebody who's been reporting in the capital over the last few weeks, especially when it comes to the heat wave. You've been speaking to people, getting their opinion on what's happening around them, especially when it comes to the measures that are being taken. Now, here we're seeing a war of words between the LG and the state government. Now, ideally, and the Union Territory government, rather. Ideally, you'd want to see harmony. But what I wanted to ask you here is, since you've been on the ground, the Aam Aadmi Party here is saying that they've already put in measures to ensure that people are given breaks, especially when it comes to laborers. They've already put in measures to ensure that people remain safe. What have you seen on the ground when it comes to what the Aam Aadmi Party has done?
At a time when the sensitivity should have been expected from all the stakeholders in the matter, at that time the blame game is currently taking place between the Delhi LG V.K. Saxena and the Delhi government. But what is important is the advisory which has come out from the side of the Delhi LG V.K. Saxena. Yes, we have given the directions to the DDA to take care of the laborers who are working across the part of the capital city at different construction sites. And they should be provided with adequate water and the coconut water as well with the supply of the same. And if possible, the breaks should also be provided to these laborers between 12 to 3 p.m. because that is the time when the heat wave is on its all-time high. And shades should also be provided in some form or the other to the laborers working at the different places. But what we have witnessed so far is that the construction activities are already ongoing. The orders have already come out yesterday. So the impact of the same will be seen starting from today. But the order says that the meeting for the same was convened on May 20th. But ever since at that time, we have not seen any of the changes so far visible on the ground. People are already suffering, especially those who are poor people who are already out there, either living on the footpath or they are, without the proper facility of the water as well. So we need to see as to how much impact LG's letter is going to make on the laborers and on the departments as well, who have been mentioned to carry on with the facilities. But apart from it, the directions have been given to the Chief Secretary, Naresh Kumar, as well, that if a need be, then he can, in his personal capacity, can call for a meeting to all the concerned department, be it the DUSIP, DU, SIB, or the NDMC, and different stakeholders which are responsible for the same, to provide each and everything which is required to all the people who are working out there in this intense heat. But the revert has already come out, Aisha, from the side of the Delhi government. Health Minister Saurabh Bharadwaj, he held a press conference yesterday in a detail. He has said that many of the steps have already been taken by the Delhi government. Many of the advisories have already been issued from the side of the Delhi government, and the intention of the Delhi LG was only to humiliate and not to provide any of the constructive suggestion as far as the facility or the fighting with the heat wave is concerned.
All right, Nikhil, thank you so much for joining us. Do stay with us as we cover another aspect of what's taking place in Delhi, because amid the ongoing water woes, Delhi Water Minister Atishi has penned a letter to the CEO of the Delhi Jal Board and called for an immediate deployment of 200 teams across Delhi to crack down on various water wastage practices, such as car washing with pipes, overflowing from water tanks, and the unauthorized use of domestic water for construction or commercial activities. Now, the Delhi Minister Atishi's instructions specify that these teams will commence operations starting from 8 a.m. today. The water police has been authorized to levy a fine of 2,000 rupees on any individual or individuals who are caught wasting water, and are empowered to disconnect any illegal water connections identified on construction sites or commercial establishments. Now, this proactive measure underscores the government's commitment to promoting responsible water usage and ensuring the efficient management of water resources in the city. Now, to get us more on this, we're crossing back over to my colleague Nikhil, who's been tracking all of the developments. Nikhil, this is something that is, I think, going to be implemented for the first time. The fact that you're going to be seeing multiple teams on the ground checking and balancing the fact that they want to ensure that water is not wasted. But tell us about the water wastage. Tell us about the lack of water in the capital. Where are the problems really occurring?
Well, the problem is something which is not very new for the Delhi, and in the previous years as well, we have seen the water shortage. But because this time the situation is unprecedented, so the measures have been called in that context only. And now the directions have been given by Atishi, who is the concerned water minister for the capital city. She has given directions to CEO of the Delhi Jal Board to immediately form 200 teams which are going to work across the length and breadth of the city, and they are going to issue the challans. And there are three categories, Aisha, which have been formed in the same. Firstly, on those people, the crackdown will take place who are washing the cars with the pipes. Second one is the category for the overflowing of the tanks, and third one is the illegal connection, which means the connection which is meant for the domestic use. If they are illegally being used for the construction site or the commercial use, then these people as well will fall under the category of the channel, and the penalizing will take place for as high as rupees 2,000, and they are going to work starting from today. So we need to see as to how much the water shortage could be saved in at this particular time, because the allegations have already been made by Atishi that the water supply, which is meant for the capital city, is being stopped from the BJP ruled state Haryana, and they are not giving the fair share of the water. They have also warned the Haryana state that if in next 48 hours they do not release the share of the capital city, then they might approach Supreme Court as well for the same. So this is something which is going to be seen. But Aisha, speaking further about the situation as far as the water scarcity is concerned, there are many areas in the capital city which usually go through the water shortage. But this time the situation has become even more unprecedented, even more difficult, because unprecedented time is what we are living in as far as the heat waves are concerned, which is currently prevailing.
Absolutely. Nikhil, thank you so much for joining us, giving us a more comprehensive perspective on what's taking place in the capital when it comes to the heat wave, as well as the water crisis, as well as errors when it comes to the recording of temperatures.